What about now?
Sand.
Mr. Dunbar, if you're not going to take this
Okay,
seriously, then there's...
volcanic sand, okay?
Yes.
You haven't got the smell right.
Excuse me?
I'm saying the feel is spot on, but if you want to sell it, you might want to get rid of that factory fresh aroma.
Mr. Dunbar, the olfactory response is not
Just
what
put
we're...
some salt in it, that's all I'm saying.
Mr. Dunbar, I really...
It's Captain Dunbar, actually, when you graduate from the secondary program, they promote you to captain.
Apologies.
Yeah, I haven't been a mister since I started at the academy. It took me a year to get used to people calling me lieutenant.
If we could just get back to the test, I think it'd be a much better use of our time.
Mr. Dunbar is kind of cute, though. Could be a little nickname, just between us.
You've made your point, I think.
Have I, Miss Foster?
Doctor.
Right. Apologies.
Are we going to have a problem?
No, ma'am.
You've been giving me static for 3 days, Captain, and I've got people banging down these lab doors to run these tests if you'd rather be elsewhere.
Oh, there's nowhere else I'd rather be.
Good. And now?
It's grass. It's freshly mowed. There is something, chalk.
What?
There's a chalky residue.
Hang on. No, I'm not seeing it.
Maybe not, but it's there.
We should check the receiver.
There's nothing wrong with my gear. I see this type of thing all the time. Sometimes the system gets clogged with old layers, and sometimes they co-express. Do you have that cliff face protocol running somewhere? Running in the background?
No, just the daily auto checks. That protocol would have been up for maybe 2 seconds. Just very deep background.
Shut it down. Come on, it can't hurt.
Stand by for 0 space.
Copy 0 space. Nice. Nice.
No more chalk?
None.
Good catch, Dunbar. I've never seen that bug before.
Well, it's easy to overlook if you're not in the suit. I'm not knocking the architect or anything. It's just, it's different.
I've worn this.
Yeah?
You can get through architecture certification without it, but that always seemed ridiculous to me. Right? We're designing for the suits. Yes, we soften things up and pad the sharp edges before they get to the users, but the essential experience, without all the distractions, is the suit. And I can see the environment in the code, but it was all theoretical. I needed to feel it on my skin and walk around in it to actually understand.
Well, how did it go? Your first flight test?
I threw up. No, the vertigo was unreal.
You ever gone in as a customer? I bet there's some nice flat metal you could try out for a couple of hours.
Not since I was a kid.
Oh, come on.
Never saw an environment so worth the price of admission.
Not even one of yours?
Well, mine are very good, but I see what I need to see in the code, and the station is very beautiful.
Yeah, if you like stainless steel.
It's very clean. Suit up.
Right.
Are you?
Me?
Well, you obviously don't think much of stainless steel. You're not subject to vertigo, seasickness, or agoraphobia. The perfect user. What's your favorite environment? And don't say Peterson's Versailles. Everybody loves Versailles.
It's not Versailles.
Good. Because Hall of Mirrors is barely more than a cut and paste job, but you put gold on everything and people don't notice the compromises in the design.
Well, I've never seen it. My favorite is Garden of the Gods.
Say that again?
The best one I've ever seen.
You're making fun of me.
No, I'm not.
My first environment. Really?
This is my first two. I got it for my 18th birthday, so you must have been
I was 20.
20. Right. Prodigy, right?
That was your first?
Well, my parents couldn't afford rentals. They didn't see the point of saving up for one. They always said it couldn't compare to the real thing. Flight suit ready to engage.
Stand by, engage.
Standing by.
Pressure systems activated.
Check.
Olfactory sensors go.
Check.
Optics go.
Check.
Somatosensory gloves engage.
Engaged. So where to? Dr. Foster?
Couldn't compare to the real thing.
What?
Did you grow up planetside?
My parents did. Well, when I came along, our quadrant got overpopulation quota, so it was goodbye Pacific Northwest and hello Station Andromeda. You like it there. Very clean.
Doesn't seem to have done you any harm.
Oh, thanks, Doc. I'm flattered.
You know what I mean. You don't see many Earthers in the Academy.
Well, if you got the real sky and land in front of you, I guess I don't see the appeal in playing pretend.
Speaking of which.
Yeah. Where are we headed?
Back to the beach.
Yeah.
We're incorporating the sea today, if you're ready.
Well, that's a quick turnaround.
Well, there was a high demand. Stand by for zero space.
Standing by.
Environments loading. Stand by for touchdown.
Nice.
Observant.
Is there any reason for this, or?
Temperature down and inspires heightened optic and olfactory responses.
You're showing off a little bit, aren't you?
Well, you were a bit of a jerk those first 3 days. Like, real hard to please. I thought this might shut you up. Works like a charm.
This gives Guardians of the Gods a run for his money. You ready for initial data collection?
Go ahead.
All right, the suit brief lab temperature at 70 degrees. Perceived temperature 62. It's a cool evening. It's a bit brisk for a swim.
We'll adjust before getting your feet wet.
Appreciate it. Sand texture is consistent with mid-Atlantic. It's a fine semi-coarse grain. It packs well. You can make a sandcastle if you program a pail.
Accessories cost extra.
What's the point of getting through the academy if you can't get the free perks?
Contribute to the ongoing effort to facilitate extraplanetary life through the creation and development of livable virtual environments.
Wow.
Did
you swallow the recruiting pamphlet?
Photographic memory.
Ah, so you're one of those.
What?
Those parent pleasers. Doing your family proud.
Aren't you?
Check my file.
What do you mean?
Top sheet.
Parents deceased. I'm sorry.
Gravity's good. You've compensated for the inconsistency that we found. It's good. That's just enough give.
Excellent. You should be getting some stimuli to the sensory system.
Yes. Light winds from the northwest. Oh, there's that sand. There's that salt I was asking you to bring me. You've been holding out on me. Sounds a bit off.
I haven't activated the sea yet.
No. But the wind.
Are you ready for full activation?
No. I don't want to rush things.
No, it's fine. If you want to calibrate the auditory input,
Hang on.
It's not a problem.
So wait a second, okay?
I'm getting some elevated readings in your biometrics, Dunbar. Are you all right? Captain Dunbar. Hugo!
Yeah? Yeah. Everything's good. Standing by for full activation.
Wait a minute.
Is there a problem?
You want to tell me what that was?
It's nothing.
Well, you're not an idiot and you're plugged into a computer, so there are really many ways to refute that claim. Did you just have a panic attack?
No.
Stand by to abort.
No, it's not necessary. It was maybe the beginning of a panic attack.
Your file doesn't indicate any history of panic attacks.
It doesn't happen often.
It shouldn't happen at all. If you're unfit, then
I'm not unfit. Can I get some sunlight in here? Please. Thank you. My pulse is a little elevated. Respiration's fine. Let's go.
It might have slipped your mind. It might have slipped your mind with all our discussion of your rank, but this is my lab and will continue when I see fit to continue. I'm not interested in collecting useless data, and I need a test pilot whose levels are all within control range. Do you qualify?
Oh, don't be ridiculous. Of course I qualify.
Is it the C?
You know, my parents, they won the visitation lottery once. I was 12. We can go anywhere we want, 24 hours planet side. I begged them to go to the beach. You ever been to one? Real thing?
No, just in video.
Mom and Dad would talk about it like a bedtime story. For as long as I can remember, they'd tell me about the forest and the mountains and the sea. And it all seemed impossible, or at least unlikely, you know? I've seen the videos too, but they could just be created by computer geniuses like yourself. I'm not saying my parents were liars. It's just the imagination can only take you so far. And the size of it, I couldn't wrap my head around it. I got obsessed. I dream about it. So it was obvious where we had to go. They dropped us down at the edge of America and we drove over miles of sand. And then there it was, the Pacific. I was overwhelmed. I couldn't breathe. It was just so big. I mean, I grew up on the space station. You look out a window, any window, it's the infinite. The ocean doesn't compare to that vastness. I mean, I knew that. Any kid knows that. But I just couldn't take it all in. The sky and the horizon, my parents thought I was having a fit. And I guess I was. You see, the thing about space, there's so much nothing. Sure, it goes on forever, but it's emptiness. I took a look at the sea and I don't know, it was the most substantial thing I'd ever seen. It was just so much there. After 12 years of living on a space station, I guess my mind wasn't prepared. Then suddenly I was running into the waves. My parents chasing after me, fully dressed. I'm a great swimmer now. I swim a mile a day with work allows. The academy requires it if you want to graduate full honors. But when I was 12, I knew enough to close my mouth when the first wave hit me and I went down hard. The Pacific is undeniable. My dad had me in his arms before the second wave hit. And he was solid, immovable. My mom, she came running up and grabbed onto the both of us before the third wave hit. And then she laughed, and then all of us were laughing. Just three fully clothed, soaked to the bone idiots laughing at the ocean.
Why'd you do it? Why did you run in? I
don't know. I guess I had to feel it to believe it.
You're lucky you didn't drown.
No, it wasn't luck. I had them. And because of me.
What?
Because of me, they had to give it up, okay? I knew that. But all of it, the forest, the mountains, the sea, it was all just an idea before the visitation. After the beach, it was solid, infinite fact. What they gave up for me, what they gave to me.
You knew what you'd be working on coming here. If you prefer to work on one of the larger forest environments or a city.
No.
You're recreating Milan over on Station Calliope.
Dr. Foster, I'm not trying to go to any other.
Lab 28 is doing some great work in Arctic environments. They're just down the hall.
Do you want me to leave?
I am not particularly interested in running an incredibly expensive, highly elaborate therapy session for one. If you're looking for a way to conquer a phobia or make peace with, there are other ocean environments already up and running, and I'm sure any of those architects would jump at the chance to have a test pilot of your skill on their upgrade team.
Look, I know I was a pain these last couple of days,
I don't care about
Dr. Foster, I don't want to leave.
You're not mentally fit. This is the largest endeavor of its kind ever attempted. It's highly complex and exceedingly dangerous at this stage.
I know that.
Are you aware of how quickly you could do yourself serious damage if you panic during the full exercise of this protocol? Sudden vasoconstriction or oxygen deprivation.
I'm not going to give myself a stroke.
And there is the obvious potential for psychological harm.
I'm willing to take that risk.
That is nice and very dashing or courageous or whatever effect you're trying to achieve. But again, this isn't your lab. I am responsible for both you and this environment, and I won't compromise in my care for either.
I understand.
Good.
And I was going for a combination of bravery and self-sacrificing.
Noted.
Standing by for full activation.
Captain Dunbar.
I said I knew what I'd be working on coming here.
Then it was irresponsible.
You're the reason why I went to the academy.
Garden of the Gods? Really?
It was a gift. Not too expensive. I guess they discounted it because you were still in school and nobody was making any guarantees on the quality.
Thanks.
I went in there kind of skeptical. I mean, I've been planet side. I consider myself an expert. I knew an environment couldn't compare to the real thing. That shit activated. You had these little lizards skittering all over every surface. Those red rocks against that blue sky. The air was thin and dry. I could feel the sandstone come off my I feel the grit come off the sandstone and form a thin layer around my fingertips. It was sunny. I guess you knew that. It was always sunny. But the rocks held heat from the sunlight. It was perfect. And I thought, most of us may not be lucky enough to have Earth, but we'd be lucky having this. And plus, test pilots get to ride for free.
You entered one of the most prestigious and selective training programs in the system for free environment access.
There may have been a few aptitude tests that I aced. It seemed like a good fit.
And fate just happened to land you at mine.
No, I planted myself here. I've seen other ocean environments. Pale limitations, good for some. I wanted the real thing.
Did you come here to torture yourself?
That's not what I'm doing.
Your cardiogram from a few minutes ago says differently. The idea of the ocean, the real ocean, makes you miserable and anxious. And if this environment is as good as you're hoping it'll be, all you'll be doing is hurting yourself and messing up my data. I can't have you panic and just...
That wasn't panic.
If it wasn't panic, then what was it? You
I
admitted...
don't know what else to call it. Or I wouldn't want to sound cheesy.
What was it?
Hope. See? I told you, cheesy. But it was like the feeling you get when you've been wanting something for so long, right? And you're finally gonna get it. You'll blink, and the next time you open your eyes, it'll be there. And there's all this hope, but there's also this stab of fear. Like, what if it's exactly what you wanted? And what if exactly what you wanted turned out to be the wrong thing?
Okay.
Okay.
Promise me you're not going to freak out.
I solemnly swear, I am done freaking out.
You swim a mile a day.
Freestyle.
You want to see the ocean again?
Yes.
Stand by for full activation.
Standing by.